So now we're heading into race week, and this is a big week. The nerves, you're feeling it. But I've got some good pointers to try and help you through this week and make sure that you get to race day in the best possible shape. There's a number of vital things that need to be taken into account. Number one, sleep is so important. Sleep equals recovery, sleep equals better performance. Next, we're going to touch on nutrition. Nutrition is so vital. Keep the junk out. Don't consume it. You want to make sure that your digestive system is in good shape, that your body is in good shape, and everything needs to be repurposed and focused for race day. A lot of people like to speak about carbohydrate loading. Sure, you can increase your carbohydrate intake slightly, but don't overdo it. Remember, you're consuming a certain amount of calories, you're still trying to maintain an energy balance. So if you're going to increase your carbs slightly, something's got to give way. I would probably bring the fat down a little bit and maybe just bring the protein down a little bit. Hydration is probably one of the most key focus areas of the week. You need to make sure that you get to race day properly hydrated. I always advocate around 30 to 40 milliliters of fluid per kilogram of body weight, which means that if you're weighing 60 kilograms, you should be consuming around 2.4 liters of fluid a day, mainly in the form of water. However, if you do exercise on top of that, you are going to need to increase your fluid consumption because you're going to be losing a little bit more fluid in the form of sweat during exercise, so you need to take that into account also. Something that I advocate as you get closer to race day, which is around 4 days, 3 days prior, is to start mineral loading. In other words, increasing your mineral intake, specifically sodium, to help retain water and to set your hydration levels up properly for race day. And you can do this by consuming a hypertonic solution, which is basically an electrolyte solution. You can drop a tablet in a bottle and you can drink a couple of bottles daily leading up to race day. It works phenomenally well. Focus on maximizing your sleep 2 nights prior. Wake up much later in the morning if you can. And then once you've woken up, set yourself up quite nicely by starting to consume your nutrition through the day. Keep your nutrition low fiber, low fat, a nominal amount of protein, and focus on more carbohydrates which are low in fiber, as opposed to high fiber carbs, to make sure that you're starting to set up your energy system and you don't want to cause any gastrointestinal distress. A lot of people eat massive pasta meals the night before the race. They go into this carbo-loading frenzy. I don't agree with it. I think it's going to impact your sleep. I think that if you really want to increase your carbohydrate intake, do it at lunchtime, and there you can increase your carbohydrate intake. When it gets to nighttime, have a smaller meal, focus on eating a meal that is going to be conducive to a good night's sleep. Also, another thing is don't overhydrate in the evening because that will also impact your sleep. It will leave you running up and down to the toilet. Don't take any vitamins the night before. The reason being is that they can impact the bladder, and don't ingest any stimulants prior to sleep. You don't have to worry because the next morning we're going to focus on the pre-race meal, and that to me is one of the most important meals prior to your race.